Hi everyone, my name is Trisha Kumar and this is my YouTube channel called World of Data. So today we're going to talk about how to set up constraints. So let me go to the SQL server. Now if you notice, I have dropped the table student1 which we were doing previously, so I can add more constraints while creating the table again. So let's get to it. Now let's create table student1 again. Student1. Now we know student ID is required. Student ID in primary key. Next we have name, which is varchar 20. Now let's add a constraint called not null, and then for major varchar 20, another constraint called unique. So now we've created the table. Now to explain what these constraints are, not null is the constraint where we want to specify that the value that we want to enter is not a null value. So null basically means that it does not have a value. So not null means that we have to put a value. Now unique is a constraint which says that the value that we enter has to be unique, or else the value is completely rejected. Now let me show you an example to make it more clear. So now let's enter data. Insert into student1 values, 1 comma Jack, biology. Now this lets us enter about Jack. Now this is already done, that's the basics which we already know. Now let's enter student1. Now for Claire, let's specify student underscore id comma name, values 2 comma Claire. Insert id name values 2 comma Claire. So now we know that the major has to be unique. Instead of entering Claire, let's try to do it as null and see if it works out or not. Now if you see error, so it says the column name cannot be null because we've already specified that name has to be not null. Now let's try this again. In student ID name, values 2 comma Claire comma, let's make Claire's major also as biology, and let's see what happens. Now again it says duplicate entry biology for key major. Now if you notice, major we have set as unique, so we can't set Claire's major as biology also because Jack's major is already biology. So yeah, now these are the two main constraints. Let's drop the table again and check out more constraints. Drop table student1. Okay, now the table is dropped. Let's create the table again with different constraints. Create table student1, student ID int primary key, name varchar, major varchar. Now let's check out a new constraint called default undecided Okay, so now this is a new table with default as undecided. So in case we don't enter anything in the major, it says the default is undecided. Let me show you an example of that. In so let's copy paste this. Control C, Control V. Values 1, comma Jack. Now we haven't set the major, so let's see what comes. Select star from student 1. Now if you see, it says student ID 1, name as Jack, but the major is undecided. Since we didn't specifically decide what the major of Jack is, it uses the default value as undecided, which we have set here. Now let's drop the table again to see more constraints. Drop table student 1. Now the table is dropped. Let's create the table again. Now we are going to use something called auto increment. Let's check it out. Now we've created the table student 1 again. So now we want to know if auto increment actually works. So let's say insert into student 1. Let's not insert the student ID. Let's just insert name and major. Let's see how that works out. Name and major. Values Jack, comma biology. Now again insert into name and major values Kate, comma chemistry. Let's make Kate's chemistry. Okay, now let's see if the auto increment worked. Select star from student 1. Now if you see, even though we haven't inserted the student ID, it has been incremented automatically from 1 starting with Jack biology, and then it increments to 2 Kate chemistry. So now these are the basic constraints that we usually use while coding SQL. So I hope you guys understood this. They are just basic keywords that you need to know and how it works. Thank you for watching. Like, share and subscribe.